don't dodge games against Celtic. But I just feel a knock. Come on, really?
Well, he said it's a knock, Trev. He said it's a knock that'll keep him out for a few weeks. So it's not just he's got a cold or he's pulled something and he's out. We don't want to turn this into a Tav bash, and particularly New Year's Day. We don't really want to be going all downbeat. But I mean, it does leave us with a bit of a defensive conundrum.
Yes. Sorry, my the Wi-Fi at my old ears is. I think you need to use a hand crank to actually get this internet going. Listens to the sports science guys too much. That's what I was joking with Martin yesterday about. I think he'll actually be like pushing them away, going, "Listen, if Balogun tells me he's good, I'm going to start him," because he knows he will get destroyed if we have like King and Proper or something in there, or somebody was saying Yefty and Yilmaz, but then who's the one that you bring in a little bit more? So I'm concerned, boys.
Right, Brian, Slug D, do you think Tav's off in January window doesn't want to tarnish his reputation more by playing in the Old Firm? I can't see that being a thing because by the way the manager's talking, he's going to be injured most of January, so if he is going anywhere, then it's not really a good look if he's injured, is he, as the window progresses?
No, and I think as well he's got his is it his testimonial this year? Would that be right?
As if he sees a year out.
If he sees the year out, yeah. So no, I still think he's in the huff that his mate Goldson's went and he hasn't. I still say that it's pretty much the same as Kamara and
sorry, Brian, he wanted to leave. Is that what you're saying? I think he wants to stay because the amount of money's on and the business opportunities he's got here.
I reckon if something came in the summer, he was away. I still think that.
Yeah.
Still think that. I mean, his mate Goldson left. He's not. I still get the feeling of the Kamara and this is the problem now. We're looking at guys that are, limited minutes, limited sort of, appearances. It's not a good look, and the only in and out I can realistically see us doing is if Dessers goes and Shankly comes in. That is the genuinely only in and out I can see us doing.
We beat them tomorrow.
That's why Shankly's down feels because he doesn't want to be there. I'll totally go with that. But
that still doesn't explain the playing as a number 10. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't explain that. But then that's a manager's sort of choice, isn't it?
Well, he's the second manager because Naismith started playing him as a 10 and then this new guy's come in and he's doing it as well. You know what I mean? But blind statistics tell you that. But don't know. But anyway, the problem we've got for tomorrow isn't up front. We've got guys that will score goals. And
yes.
Yes. The problem we've got, Brian, is the defence. So how do we address it? I mean, we've been talking about it in the group chat. And how do we address the defence?
I mean, well, obviously, I think I put it this way. I think if Balogun plays any part, it's going to be if he starts, he'll come off. And then if he comes off the bench, he'll probably still come off because something will happen to him. Then you've got the conundrum of no Suter. Proper is less than reliable. Is that fair to say? Less reliable?
Well, but if you think Proper's played his better games in the bigger games, he's played quite well in Europe.
True.
So is he one of these players that he's come to Scotland thinking, great, I'll get a dick, and it's a wrong mentality. I'll get European games, I'll get big games against Celtic, maybe Aberdeen games, whether they consider them big, but then forgetting he's got to play what they consider the dross, and that's when he's not played well. I don't know. That to me is the wrong mentality to have. But is he one of those players?
Absolutely, it's totally a wrong mentality. But I would. I mean, you're scratching around now. You're looking at even Leon King is going to possibly.
Sorry, Brian. Brian's in exactly the same boat. He's a buzz boy as well, so don't worry about it. You're not the only one that's trying to concentrate on the pod. Sorry, Brian.
I would suggest that Leon King is pretty much. I mean, Leon King's been posted missing since the Champions League campaign, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, they just haven't played him. I mean, the Champions League campaign, he played
With
more
a
than he had.
midfielder.
He played more than he should have played with a midfielder with James Sands beside him. I think over the course of that season, Leon King played probably the amount of minutes you would expect to play, possibly more than he expected to play. He just didn't expect to play them all in 6 weeks. But he's not had a sniff since. I mean, he's been on the bench recently, not even had a minute. So does that mean the manager doesn't fancy him? However, having said that, Oscar Cortez was on the bench for 3 weeks in a row and then got thrown in on Sunday.
So yeah, it's the whole. I hate saying this again, but the whole conundrum on Thursday is going to be the defence.
I won a personal trophy.
We're pretty much scraping the barrel for tomorrow. That's the problem. We can't hide from this. We can't sort of, just sort of brush this under the carpet.
But I am very, very optimistic.
I think he would have seen after Motherwell, but it looks as though he's obviously going to get the old firm. So
in 2012, etc., etc. But the thing that concerns me, as you say, Brian, there's so
reverse. It's just been terrible, and there's a whole generation now that are it must be hard for a dad to take the son or daughter to the football. Say, this is my team. This is it must be hard to convince a young one to go to the football now.
Yeah, I mean, his name was 55 saying there. It's not all of a sudden it's 6 titles in 24 years. And yes, there's reason behind that of what happened in 2012, etc., etc. But the thing that concerns me, as you say, Brian, there's so many, kids growing up, or they're not even kids now, so many people growing up. There's a generation of Rangers fans who second place, it's just what they expect. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's their mentality, because Rangers fans should never have that, but it's getting that way because people seem to accept, well, second place isn't that bad. Second place is an absolute fucking disaster. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And to arrest the slide, we had this discussion in the car on Sunday, going down to the even before we dropped points at Motherwell. Right, one of my mates went, look, forget about Europe. Right, let's just get domestic stuff sorted. That's all well and good. Right, however, to be successful at home and get in, and potentially get into the Champions League, you need to sign better players. 3 or 4 years we were down the lower leagues because of what happened to us, right? You've got Derek McInnes, who's manager at Aberdeen at the time. Great chance for us to finish second. Not once did they say great chance to challenge for a title, because nobody was interested, because they knew they couldn't do it. But back in the 80s, you had Aberdeen winning 3 or 4 titles. Dundee United won a title. That's part of the problem. That's, to Rangers supporters, it's not acceptable. I mean, I think if Rangers come out and say, look, we'll have a transitional year, we'll write the next 18 months off to steady the ship, bring in players, they might accept that. We're saying, okay, we'll maybe bring somebody in for a couple of million, sell them for 6 or 7. That would be good business. That'd be a start. Right? If we lose tomorrow, that's 17 points.
Yeah.
With half the season to go. How bad's it going to get? Because it can't all be down to him.
No, I'm not. But leadership is everything. Leadership is everything. A winning mentality is everything. You go back, Wolf, when you started supporting Rangers, you had Rangers captains. They demanded everything and winning.
I like Odd Bob's comments. This isn't what I'm saying. We go out tomorrow, get the match abandoned due to red cards. Could you imagine the meltdown if we went out and just kicked everything and it ended up getting 4 or 5 red cards? That would be pointless anyway, because they would just get awarded the game, because that's what happens in Scotland.
It'd be a 3-0. And by the way, Elaine,
to be fair, I probably would take that.
Yeah, probably. But to be fair, Elaine, I was just at a friend's house, and it was too long a night. That's all I'm going to say. Too long a night. He is here till the end of the season, regardless. I think the board have now clearly written off this league campaign, and I genuinely think they're now just looking to next season. The manager's not going anywhere. As much as me and a lot of other people don't want to see him here, I'm afraid that he's not going anywhere. And that extra year deal that he got is testament to that. And there's a lot of people obviously suggesting that we can't even afford to get rid of him, so that you've got to take that on board as well. So it's just there's so many moving parts to this. There's a lot of moving objects to this, and I just do not see a universe this season where Clement gets sacked. Unfortunately, it's just it's only came to me in the last few sort of games that I've thought, you know what, it really doesn't matter how bad things get with this board, they just don't. They'll double down, triple down, and it was bordering toxic. Full time, it was certainly getting towards toxic.
Absolutely was. Our very own Timothy Sharp, interim boss coming in once the crowds drop significantly. Then a new manager in the summer. That's the line. That's the road I'd go down if we did get rid of Mr. Clement and Brian.
Unimaginable. It's just, yeah, it's going to be a sobering one tomorrow.